Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, this is an amendment that says that does not allow the bill to go into effect until an independent redistricting commission has been established. Members, what is happening on the floor today is a blatantly obvious attempt to determine the outcome of the upcoming midterm election before a single vote is cast. Those who vote in favor of this bill will be supporting a process that has been engineered to dilute the power and voices of voters of color in Texas. With the push of a button, you are taking the decision away from the voters of Texas. But where I come from in Texas, we're proud of our independent-mindedness and believe in our right to self-determination, which is why I know there is no reason why Texans should settle for a redistricting process that does not let us make up our own minds. Today's proceedings are proof that the legislature should not be responsible for drawing these maps. It's clear that when left to do so, the legislature will abuse its power to silence the voices of its constituents. House Bill 4 targets congressional districts that have historically been held by Texans of color and eliminates the community's ability to elect the candidate of their choice. Here in Travis County, the proposed maps would eliminate our only court-ordered minority opportunity district created to protect the voting rights of people of color. In 2017, a panel of federal judges ruled that 3 of our congressional districts, including CD 35 here in Travis County, were illegal and violated the Voting Rights Act and the Constitution. As a result, Texas was forced to redraw the maps to ensure Texans of color received fair representation in Congress. Now this body seeks to eliminate that district and strip Black and brown voters in Austin of their voice in Congress. As many of you know, I have called Austin my home for my entire life. I spent my youth in and around North Austin, my young adulthood in Central and East Austin, and have called West and South Austin home for the last 50 years. I know my community better than anyone who drew the lines on this map, and can assure you that districts drawn from urban Austin through rural communities extending to Louisiana, Port Aransas, and the New Mexico border do not reflect communities of interest. Instead of strengthening Black and brown representation in Congress, which would better reflect the true ethnic and racial makeup of our state, this body seeks to dilute their power and eliminate their voice. Therefore, the most responsible and ethical vote we can take today is to pause this sham process until an independent redistricting commission has been established. Doing so will ensure the people of Texas have a voice in this process and can help guide where and how their districts are drawn. True representation and fair access to the polls are the foundation of our electoral system because in a democratic society, ultimate accountability occurs at the ballot box. As elected officials, it is our duty to represent the people of Texas and be their voice of government. And as members of the People's House, we are supposed to have our fingers on the pulse of our communities. District lines that include disparate communities hours apart from one another do not allow for fair representation. The only reason to include them in the same district would be to dilute their power and voice in Congress. HB 4 is a blatant attempt by a handful of elected officials to choose their voters because they are afraid their voters won't choose them. It is clearer than ever before that how and where voting lines are drawn have a direct impact on a community's representation in government and its ability to influence change. I urge you to vote in favor of this amendment and show your constituents that you value their voice over currying favor with your political allies.
Mr. Speaker.
And I yield for
Ms.
questions.
Hinojosa, for what purpose?